Should I start first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please,
Go ahead.
yeah, if you jump in, of course.
Okay. So, first of all, Ratio1. I just had a discussion with one of our partners about 30 minutes ago, and he was keeping on discussing and stating that a Ratio1 is a more affordable solution, more affordable cloud, as opposed to Azure, as opposed to AWS, as opposed to Google Cloud, particularly for platform as a service systems that need platform as a service. Meaning you can deploy containers, you can deploy workers, you can deploy from Git to just run your whole system on a much cheaper budget than you do in the big cloud, big native cloud. And what is important is that I kept and I listened to him, and I said, listen, Ratio1 is not a cloud. Ratio1 is not our platform. The purpose of our platform is not deploy on cloud, is not to execute, is not to process jobs. Our purpose is to help develop applications and run and process the data and store the data and so on. So this is something that I think it's very, very, very important. So for us, the most important part comes from developing applications inside Ratio1 ecosystem, and that is developing with templates, developing with our horizontally scalable framework, developing with our storage system, developing applications with all our bells and whistles that we believe make our system extremely powerful when it comes to fast application development, fast enterprise application development. And then, of course, comes the processing, and then, of course, comes the part where you can actually deploy multiple instances of your applications, one in Singapore, another one in Brazil, another one in Germany, and another one in Canada, for example. And of course, this is also important, but the most important is the development part. A long answer, I know, once again, but I think it's important to state the fact that Ratio1, its development and processing is not only about processing.
Yeah, it's more like you have an engine. It's of course you can use the engine for various things, but it needs to run, it needs to process and to create, and it's aimed at developers. I think that is a very, very core thing to keep in mind here.
If I may add, it's true that we are addressing both legacy system that can be migrated from cloud native to Ratio1. We do that. We already do that. We already onboard partners that basically already have applications on Microsoft Azure, for example, and they want to have maybe a smaller budget and some interesting your AI, your data approaches. However, the most important partners are those that develop based on the tools that we provide. Tools that are totally open source, of course.
Yes. Petrica, you look very, very caught up in your thoughts. Anything you'd like to add to what Andrei just said?
Yeah, I think we ended up well, Andrei, with the motto we always use: your AI, your data, or the other side of the story: not your AI, not your data. Mainly, I've been asked many times what's the advantage of Ratio1 against other big companies out there like
Beside
Amazon,
the
Google, beside the price, of course. And to be honest, I think it's not a fight actually. It's not a competition that deep. It's more like Ratio1 coming as an alternative. I'm sure that Google, Amazon, Azure, whatever big company out there providing cloud or computing in the world, they will still be here on the long term. I think these are big companies that will not disappear overnight, and I think they will still be leaders in the market. But Ratio1 comes here as an alternative to the centralized method they are offering. With the proper tools to develop decentralized applications, decentralized AI training, decentralized and encrypted data when it comes about training your models, deploying your agents, and so on. So it's not like we are actually fighting. We are just offering an alternative where actually the deployment of your AI agents or AI applications or even non-AI applications that require processing or a decentralized hosting, let's say, they come as an alternative. It's not like a competition. And I know we will reach this let's say area of interest from people that really care about data ownership, who is able to see your data. In Ratio1 case, nobody sees your data, everything is encrypted, it's just you accessing your data. No training is facilitated by another provider, everything comes from training in an enclosed and encrypted environment. So your data is safe, you can even process information that is sensible, and we are even having pretty a lot of partners that are actually focusing on this privacy of data and training in an encrypted environment.
And you even touched on something right here that is good to emphasize, that it's also beneficial to Andrei disconnected from the video, I think. I wanted to add that yeah, it is for businesses. We have of course that aspect, but we also have for the usual users, the ones who go towards the KYC versus the KYB. And maybe we can also build off of that. Now, because we have a little bit of time, I would actually like to discuss or to propose a small sort of game or a game of imagination. And Vitalii, you are going to be player number one, where you are a CEO of a company. It can be any company you choose, any sort of subject. What would your company be about?
I think AI, maybe.
Okay.
My company would do AI.
Would do AI. Okay. In any specific sort of, give me a general ballpark direction.
Training models. I don't know, training models.
Training models. I see. All right. So you have this company and you focus on AI training models. We move on to Petrica, who is your associate in this. You have this one particular project where you will need a lot of processing, a lot of processing power. Would you be able to come up with a project in mind? Anything in the direction of AI?
Yeah, specifically,
Just
I'm seeing
anything in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working in architecture in the past, so I see a lot of training and AI processing right now in this area. So definitely heavy training when it comes to architectural 3D models involved with AI. So I see a lot of traction in this direction in the future, and I will definitely have such project if it will be the case in the future.
Okay. And I was going to ask Andrei. Okay, this company that focuses on AI, with Petrica being the one to approach Ratio1, how would that interaction sort of go? How would they go about working with Ratio1 to pursue that project. I received a message from Andrei just now. Are you still here, Andrei? Can you still hear us by chance?
I think he can't hear, but I will jump in and take his answer because
If you can, yeah, let's see what.
Because I really
You're both client and merchant, and
yeah, I can present the way we actually work with our partners. So we go for them or they come for us in the pitching process. We always present the capabilities of the Ratio1 protocol. We also um, point them towards our open source code and our open source frameworks. Most of them are already able to use the already developed frameworks. But for certain partners that we see a lot of potential in, we also develop frameworks based on their demand and needs. And it's also always a dialogue between us as as developers of the protocol and people that are going to build on top of Ratio1. We would like to see more people actually developing frameworks in this open source ecosystem. Everybody is free to jump in and start developing frameworks, but we do develop ourselves a lot of frameworks for companies that we are in the pitching mode with, and we see that us developing some frameworks will increase our chances to get them on Ratio1, and we have such frameworks, for example the Service Safe, the healthcare framework we have for privacy in healthcare ecosystem, and we have a lot of discussions on top of this framework that is already developed. Another one is the pen testing, the red mesh we have already in production, and we already have some discussions with companies that want to be on board on Ratio1 in terms of developing decentralized pen testing and provable decentralized pen testing infrastructure on top of us. And I'm sure in the future we will develop further frameworks to help builders from different industries to develop on Ratio1. As Andrei actually mentioned a bit earlier, we are more than having a decentralized computing power through our network. We also have a lot of tools to develop AI applications or applications that need computing power and so on. I think these tools and frameworks are actually undervalued right now because they are more important than actually the decentralized protocol itself, which is pretty cool by itself. But I think the tools are actually the ones that bring the most value in for users that want to build on top of us.
Yeah, and I do believe that we'll keep discussing, as you said, about Red Mesh, about all these other things. We of course have our blog posts. Anyone is able to check them out on our site, ratio1.ai. And yeah, we're actually approaching close to the end of the discussion. But let's bring back a little bit. As Andrei, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can finally hear you. My
No
Discord
worries.
and then my whole computer decided to crash, probably because I keep on using Linux via Windows via WSL instead of going bare metal. Okay, that's another joke. Let's move forward.
Yes, no worries. We were just playing this little game where Vitalii said that he is the CEO of a company and the company focuses on AI, and Petrica chimed in with what the project that they have would be and how the interaction between a company and Ratio1 unfold, and what is the main focus and how some of the projects that we're focusing on. Maybe you can also help us with the closing statement of the idea of both businesses and independent creators that want to approach Ratio1 and want to work. Petrica mentioned, of course, the fact that we also have different, sorry for that, infrastructure, was it you said about
frameworks, yeah,
frameworks,
different tools and frameworks for every partner. And I mentioned that we
Exactly.
keep developing a lot of them on demand and based on the needs of the potential partners. Actually, I think the best closure would be for this Ratio1 Talks to have some stories from the line, from Andrei's experience in the last weeks, months, running after potential partners, and what's his approach in pitching them, and what is the most important few things that he pitched to potential partners to try to bring them on Ratio1, and what was their response actually, because this is important to also see the other side of the story, which is, of course, we can't actually tell about non-signed partners yet, but we can somehow say things about what is their response, how they manifest their interest, and what they're curious on.
There'll be quite a good story to share. Yeah, if you have them in mind, or one particular story that stuck with you.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this, but I can give you a long answer or a short answer. It's up to you which one. I believe the short, right?
I personally like the longer ones, but maybe we can go somewhere in the middle.
Don't make it a lecture, please. Just make somewhere in between.
So very, very short. I was hoping to talk a lot on this episode about the grants program, because this is something that actually interests me a lot, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it was one of the things that I personally, because right now I'm talking about my contribution, I presented our grants system, our grant program, as a how should I call it? As a use case, as a example to the potential partners that I discussed with in the last month. So in the last month, I had quite a few discussions with various partners, mostly tech companies from all sides of Europe, in order to establish potential consortiums for EU research grants and EU-wide projects. And one of the things that interests them beyond the whole idea of the value that Ratio1 can bring into the project, because this is what everybody relies on. What value do you bring in the project in order to create complementarity? But that's beyond the purpose of our discussion. What they were interested in, how can we help them? And the easiest example was, how could we help a small developer or a small company that wants to access a Ratio1 grant? And I think this is the point where both your question and what I wanted to explain merge. So the grants program is not about, or at least is not only about having a DApp somewhere written in TypeScript, or written in Go, or whatever, in Python, for example, and maybe having a backend, but not necessarily, right? And needing a place to put that DApp. It's not about that. It's not about needing a couple of database server ready servers and having horizontally scalable applications. I'm giving you two different examples. Let's say a small creator versus medium enterprise, a small medium enterprise. It's not only about that. It's about the fact that we can bring extra value to the application that they are already developing. We can bring things that basically up until Ratio1, you were supposed to get from different places. You were supposed to get from different APIs, from different frameworks. Basically, we offer different tools for developers and application, let's say, publishers, be it small creators or small enterprises or even medium enterprises. You can have decentralized storage access the way you have access to Amazon S3, for example, or to Azure storage. You can have in-memory databases the same way you set up a Google Cloud Redis infrastructure. And this is all in a decentralized infrastructure that allows you to have full ownership of the data, full ownership of the code, and zero censorship. And this is, I think, extremely important and way more important than just prices and just, having a budget for deploying 12 months a application in Ratio1. And this is where the real value of the grant comes and the real value of what Ratio1 brings. And that is we help the partners develop the application. We assist them with the DevOps. We assist them with the MLOps. We assist them with all the development, the software development and the software as a service development process that they have to go through. And I think this is very interesting. And this is something that I discussed and I over and over again I re-emphasized in the last few weeks. And we were discussing about applications in medical sector, for example, oncology applications for elderly people care, applications for drone protection, UAV protection and UAV supervision, applications for financial sector, where our GIVs framework comes into place in various places, in various applications, and many other domains. So basically, domains that are almost unrelated one to another, but they all share the same, let's say, software development needs. I don't know what else can I add. I think I passed my allocated time.
Yes. It was very, very cool to listen to. That's why I didn't want to cut in, because it was very, very good and very, very well explained.
I think it will be easier next time, or maybe a few, maybe a 1 or weeks from now on, when we will be able to actually present a consortium and an actual application, an actual project that is being developed in partnerships with multiple actors. It's easier this way than to try to present some kind of generalized framework.
Yeah, completely fair.
Yeah, it's only that we can't actually, until we have everything set and signed, we can't actually publish such information right now. It will be easier once they become published and
one more thing, I will not be surprised as you did with your question today. I'll be better prepared.
Well, yes, we do need to wrap it up for today, but this was a very, very good one, and I look forward to our next Ratio1 Talks. Thank you everyone so much for listening. As always, feel free to write your questions in the comments, and everywhere. We are watching, we are listening, and we're looking forward to the next one. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Andrei, Petrica, Vitalii. Thank you for joining. Take care, everyone. Bye.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.